right, it is all yours, Mary.
Okay, well, hello everybody. I'm sorry I'm kind of new to doing Zoom meetings. I do mostly everything in person and on the phone, so it's just a little bit new to me. So hopefully everyone can see me and hear me. I think I decided that probably the best thing that I could possibly talk to you about, college twirling costumes would be the very complicated process in getting one that sometimes I think that new people don't realize that they're going to have to go through when they start to twirl at college. And so I decided to pretty much focus my part on just letting you know what to have, when to start, how to be prepared, because I feel like just from my end, I feel like so many people really struggle to get that first college costume going. And I think a lot of it is because, you kind of go from doing your competition twirling, everything is up to you as far as your costume. But once you go to college, it really does become so many more players and so many people involved. And it is really just a little more complicated. And I would say pretty much every season, there's so many people getting them at the last minute. And I thought the best thing that I could really do would be give advice to everybody on how to really get your costume going. And I think I'm speaking for not just getting a costume from us, but just other places, because a lot of places that do competition twirling outfits and college twirling outfits are small businesses, and we do have a limited amount of staff. We're all usually just a smaller thing. So when you're going into that custom level of that high level, really good looking feature twirling costume that you're going to get from us and some of the other places that do it, there is just a little bit more work involved that I don't think everybody understands. So I decided to talk about that. So the first thing I think that is the biggest point, the minute that you receive that coveted position, that is really, if you can start working on your twirling costume at that point for school, even if it is in March or February, it is never too soon to start working on your costume, because there's just so many things involved. And, the best thing to do is just really get started, get going, see what you need to do, see what's going to happen between you and the liaison of the college who helps you with everything, your coaches, everything that are going to help you choose this outfit. Sometimes it's not always your choice, and it's a good thing to make sure and know who all the players are that are going to be helping you choose, even if it is something that you're going to have to pay for. So it's never too soon to start, and that would be, I think, my first talking point is the minute you get that position, it's time to start working on that costume. So I think the first thing that you need to know is if you're going to be having logos on your costume, it is a very smart idea to find out between the colleges what logos that you can use. A lot of times we're finding that, especially some of the larger colleges, not every logo is available to be used. So if you are responsible for getting your own costume and you think that you can just use any logo that you see on the website, or logos that are, you can find on even the page where the logos are shown, are not always logos that they want you to appear in on your costume. And a lot of that reason is because some of those logos are trademarked and are being used by the t-shirt companies that they've licensed out to. And sometimes they don't want to use those because there's some, gray area where they've signed paperwork with the logo companies and the t-shirt companies that they cannot use particular logos because those are licensed out for other reasons. But and sometimes that really changes year to year. So the first thing you want to find out is, one of the first things is what logos you can use on your costume. Talking from our perspective, we don't actually, we do everything, we cut and sew the fabric and we make the logos like that. And whenever we do that, we have to agree to do it in such a way that it has to match exactly. And because we do ours in cut and sewing, some things that we can't do. So if it's something super complicated, like a head or like a pirate head or a bird head or something like that, there's a chance that we can't make it. So there's a chance you might have to go out and obtain logos through embroidery or search for it. Another thing that might hold up. Now we do allow you to send patches in, and a lot of times I tell people, go ahead and send in a patch with that logo. We don't have an embroidery machine because the one that does that kind of work is actually in the 5-digit numbers. So in order to kind of keep our prices down, we don't have an embroidery machine. And even then we'd probably have to get licensing to make certain logos. So it's just a really complicated scenario. So the next thing that I can tell you is another good idea is with the band departments. When you start to work with the band departments, another thing you want to find out right away is once you get that position is, who's paying for your outfit? Are you going to have to pay for your outfit? Is somebody else going to pay for your outfit in the band department? Are they going to allow you a certain amount? How much, if they are going to allow you a certain amount, how much are they going to allow you to spend on the outfit? And if you don't have, like, a lot of times, we'll get band departments, oh, we're going to give $500. Well, I think a lot of you already know from competition that $500 is probably not going to cover your whole outfit. So I would always be willing to work directly with you on how to make that go the farthest and have your budget cover as much of your outfit as you can, and how to design something that you may or may not have the money to invest a certain amount of lots of rhinestoning to it. And we can help you come up with that outfit where you can get as much out of what the band will give you. And then if you need to put some on top, we will do that as well. I will help you to design something where you can do a lot or you can do less. And, so your choices really matter, and swatches can be sent to you so you can start to choose what are the fabrics that are best and to give you the most for your money for the amount that you want to spend in the end. But ultimately you want to check with the band department. Are they going to buy you an outfit? If so, how much? What's the budget? And we can start working from there about the outfit. Another thing that's really, really important to consider is if the band is going to pay, when can they pay? A lot of times the band budgets don't turn over until July. So if you really want to get started on your outfit and you're ready to go and you don't really want to wait, we do allow you to put your own deposit down on the costume and usually kind of keep that between us. And then when your band can pay, we will refund your money and we will take the band's payment instead. We've started doing that maybe about 3 years ago because it's really just so hard to wait for the band and wait for them to get through everything. The band departments are just very stacked, very low staff sometimes. And the one thing I find is that getting all the things you need is really, really slow. So we do allow that so you don't have to wait, get your position in March and find out that you can't even order an outfit until July. So, and then by that time, usually by July, we are no longer accepting orders for some of the first games that are coming up. So that's super important, is to find out who your band liaison is and what all your options are. Are they paying? Are they not paying? All these things that come into play. Also, a lot of times, even though you are paying for your own outfit, you still have to run it by a person in the band department, the styling. So it's really good to know out of the box before you start with your design work, what kind of styling they expect from you. If you're going to a Catholic college, you might want to check and make sure that they are okay with the two-piece, just examples like that. So you don't design your whole costume and find out that it's, there's too much, flesh tone fabric. They're not looking for you to have a two-piece, just things like that. Check in on styling. Hopefully the person who's your coach at the college or your sponsor at the college will be able to answer some of those questions for you. But the more things you have when you go into designing your costume and preparing for your costume, the faster you will get it, because that is the biggest problem, I think, is just things just dragging out to the very end and making it hard, and you're rhinestoning your costume the day before, when you need it. So those things are the most important things, is just know your budget, know your styling that's available, know who's paying, if it's you or them, your logos, all those options. Those are the best things to approach us already knowing as soon as you can. So that's kind of the synopsis of that. The other thing that I think that I'll understand from our point of view is, a lot of times on our website, we say that our turnover time is 4 to 5 weeks. And generally that goes pretty well, I would say, most of the year. But when we get to June, our turnover time is much shorter. So, excuse me, much longer, because we've already accepted so many orders. So another reason to start as soon as possible. But this year we were actually booked up by June 8th. We could no longer take any orders for the rest of the summer. I don't visualize that happening this year, because after COVID, we had a ton of, schools had to start over with their teams, and a lot of teams had to order this year, but they're 2 years, they wear the same costume. So, with the 2-year costumes, we'll just remake some. I think that took up a lot of our time. I don't imagine that happening this year. Usually I have a few end of summer spots when we go to nationals and whatnot, but I never really know. So that's another good reason to at least call us up and get it started, get it designed, get it ready to go. So those are some of I guess, the biggest points that I could hit on. And I'd be happy to answer any questions of anybody that is confused on anything that maybe they think they should know to start their costume. So if anybody has any questions for me, that would be great. Be happy to answer some questions.
I have one. How long does it normally take to get a costume, especially during the busy season?
Okay, so I would say the best right now, we are booked up until the end of February, because we are a company that makes costumes for all lycra sports. So we have dance, we have skating, we have twirling. If we're talking specifically about a college costume, the turnover time can really vary. I would say there's no really specific date. There's just the date that we sell out of when we can do it for high school and college twirling costumes. And this year that was actually June 8th for the entire summer. So, but normally I would say our turnover time is 4 to 5 weeks. If you were to start, let's say you get your acceptance in March and you're ready to go, the band's not paying, they're letting you, they've given you everything you need to order. I mean, you would get it in 4 to 5 weeks. I would say our time starts to build probably in May is when our turnover time starts to build. Otherwise, normally it's 4 to 5 weeks. But for specifically obtaining a costume for high school or college, for sure you're going to want to start, if you can start in May, that's great. That's great. But the sooner the better. It's never too soon. But normally our turnovers, yes, about 4 to 5 weeks. I would say if you want, just in twirling in general, if you call us in December, there's a good chance you wouldn't get your costume until February because of all the dance teams that we do and agree to do. So the other thing is that if you need swatches sent for your high school or college twirling costume, we are happy to send those out to you so you can make sure you verify the color, because that's another super important thing, is just, having the right color to match everything. You don't want to get out there and find out that, you've got the wrong shade of navy or the wrong shade of royal. So it's super important that you get swatches and allow plenty of time for that. And we will help you with your design work. So if you don't know exactly what it is that you want, please send me ideas of what you do want. And we are happy to put that together to you. You don't have to have a fully put together sketch. We try to discourage, total. If you see somebody's costume that you like, that's a really great twirler and they're twirling at a really great school, we will you want to make that costume your own. You don't want a complete copy of that. Sometimes I'm very surprised how many people approach me with costume designs that somebody else is already wearing. So try to think, Truling community is a very small world, and we definitely don't want to be walking out as much as flattering it is maybe to that person, but they want to shine on their own, and we're ready to help you shine on your own. So, don't feel like you have to have every detail together. I am here to help you put every detail together for your costume. Think of the things you didn't think of, and, I'm ready to do it. So, if anybody has any more questions for me, I'm happy to take any other questions right now on getting a costume. Okay, so if nobody has any other questions for me, I just want to say hi to everybody that I know on these panels. I mean, it's great to see some faces out there, and I consider it an honor that you've all invited me, and I'm happy to have seen you all this Saturday night, and I look forward to helping you with your costumes coming this fall.